Thank you for viewing this demo of the Force Protection Video LE50 camera in use with the VeriPig software. VeriPig actually has two software components. There's a locker component and there's the digital evidence manager component. And so I'm going to go through both and show you what the purposes are. Basically, the digital evidence manager, or DEM, is the component that handles all digital evidence. That includes crime scene photos, body-worn camera videos, interview room videos, could handle scanned documents, audio recordings, even cell phone data dumps and cell phone image of entire cell phone memory and stuff like that, or scanned documents. Now, a special class of digital evidence is the body-worn camera video. So the locker is the connector that connects between the DEM application and the body-worn camera videos. So let me go ahead and get started by clicking on locker here. So this is the locker application. It is extremely easy to use. It'll show for a particular user thumbnails of the videos, and to view a video, all you do is you double-click on the thumbnail, and it automatically starts playing. As you can see, it's actually now, as you can see here, we actually have declared a case type. There's a drop-down for cases, but you don't have to use our standard definitions. You can actually customize this list to case types that match the policies of your agency. I actually have a title and notes. I'm just going to go ahead and cancel out of here. And I'll go back right here again. The notes says I am in California. Now I could actually, it's actually shooting a video. I could actually write any free format notes that I want, and the system is very easy to use. If I wanted to search for any keyword, I just have to type a plain English keyword like California and hit a search, and it found just that one video that I have. I'm going to go ahead and go back to showing multiple thumbnails, and I'm going to show you the download process. To download videos, I'll just go ahead and hit download videos, and it opens up this window that's called the downloader. And the downloader is what connects the body-worn cameras and the software. So I'm just going to go ahead and shoot a short video right here. I'm going to aim it at my computer.
Audio and video recording has begun.
I'm just going to shoot a couple seconds here, and then I'm going to download that into the system just to show you how that works.
Audio and video recording has stopped.
Right now, the software is just listening for the camera. So we're looking for the cameras to be docked into the charging base. And the moment it sees it, it's going to go ahead and connect to it and download the video. So I'm just going to plug it in. What your officers will do at the end of the day is just dock the cameras, and it will automatically suck all the video out and into the application. And once it's done that, they could just walk away. Now, the charging base also recharges the battery on the camera, so you would just leave it overnight, and the next morning you pick it up and the camera is ready for use again. So it looks like it's completed the download process. I'm going to go ahead and hit search. There it is. It just found the video I just shot. I'll double click on it. I'm just going to shoot a couple seconds. And I'll just pause it for a second here. And then you could, of course, play it down full screen if you double click on anywhere in the image area. I'm just going to go ahead and give this, assign this to a particular case type. And here, this is where I could type in the titles and notes. And that's all there is to documenting. If I hit save, the titles and notes are assigned to that particular video. If I double click on it again, and you see my titles and notes have been saved. I'm going to pause for a second here. I'm going to hit this audit trail button, and you see that I downloaded the video, I viewed it, I edited it, which is when I was editing the titles and notes, and I viewed it again. And the audit trail is what preserves your chain of custody, so you can go to court and show everything that's happened to any particular piece of evidence. But what's important here is this access date and time. The access date and time doesn't depend on your computer server's clock. It actually grabs the timestamp from our server, which is a trusted timestamp, and applies it here. So basically what this is a trusted time source creating a trusted audit trail. Now, a couple other things I'm going to point out. 97% of body-worn camera videos don't ever go anywhere. It's just a police officer talking to a pedestrian or something like that. And because of that, you want to create what's called a retention policy. So I'm going to go ahead and log in as the administrator. And keep in mind, the different officers are able to see their own videos, but only have limited abilities to see other people's videos and so forth based on what your policies are. So for example, I'm in the administrator right now. I have a basic user defined in the system. I go ahead and edit the user. Now this is just a sample user, of course. In real life, you're going to have a first name, last name, and so forth. I could hit edit, and you could basically control on a feature-by-feature basis what the user can or cannot do. And you could also assign security levels anywhere from no access all the way to maximum security for viewing, editing, importing, and so forth. So the system is very flexible in how you assign everybody. And then there's also the concept of a group membership where you could assign somebody to who's a detective, patrol, and so forth. And so therefore you could actually segregate use capabilities based on what group they belong to. Let me go ahead and show how retention policies work. So that would be a system-wide setting. I'll go ahead and say Manage Retention Policies. So right now, it has some default retention policies, but I could add a new policy. So for example, I could say, well, let's say for child abuse, we have to retain the information for 2 years. So that would be, instead of 365 days, it would be like 730 days. I'll go ahead and say OK. So that means that anything is marked as child abuse would be in the system for 730 days, and then after that, the system will eliminate it from the database. So it basically makes your data much more manageable because you can actually have a specific policy for and have a consistent behavior for how you maintain all different kinds of evidence. Now, what happens if the video actually becomes evidence going forward? Well, what you do is you actually want to save it in Digital Evidence Manager along with your other case data. So I would go ahead and select this video, and I would hit Submit Evidence, and then I would enter a case number. Now, the videos that are stored in Locker don't have case numbers yet because they are just preliminary raw videos. A typical officer would take about 20, 25 videos a 10-hour shift. So once it becomes actual evidence, you would assign a case number. So for example, I would put in the year, a 2-digit year, and this format depends on what policy your police department wants to use. And then I'll say the month, day, and a 3- or 4-digit case number. And it grabbed the titles and notes. I'm just going to go ahead and say finish. Now before I say finish, you see this checkbox right here. It says discoverable. Some evidence is discoverable. Some of it is not, depending on the parameters of the case. If you click discoverable, and I'm going to do that here, the video, this particular piece, is discoverable by court order. And that leads us to another product of Veripic sells, which is called the e-discovery compiler, or the electronic discovery compiler. And that's what the district attorney or the prosecutor is going to use in order to do a quick search. So for example, if a court order came down and you have to search for all evidence that have certain keywords, you would be able to go into Digital Evidence Manager, type in certain keywords, and then use the e-discovery compiler, and in one push of a button, find out all the stuff that's discoverable. And that's really fabulous because it saves you a lot of work instead of having to look at multiple repositories to search for different pieces of evidence to respond to this discovery request. So anyhow, that's the basic overview of how the system works. And there's a separate video, and if you would like you could come to our YouTube channel to view how Digital Evidence Manager works. If you need to know more, or if you want to order the product, you can contact Force Protection Video, which is an authorized Verific dealer, and they could be reached at their website, www.forceprovideo.com. That's www.forceprovideo.com, or you could call them on their toll-free number at 855-746-0245. Thank you.